Well, it gets no better than this. The intense man from Macon, Georgia, Kevin Brown for the Dodgers, Randy Johnson, the big unit for the Diamondbacks at the Bob in Phoenix. That's Wednesday Night Baseball right here on ESPN2. Hi, everybody. My name is Whit Watson. I'm inside the studios here at ESPN's Wednesday Night Baseball. Thanks a lot for joining us. Some scores from earlier in the evening and the afternoon in Major League Baseball. Starting things off in the National League, Chicago goes extra innings with Milwaukee, 9-8. 5 runs in the ninth inning for the Cubs to get there. San Francisco 4-3 over St. Louis. 2 homers for Barry Bonds, both in McCovey Pond. And Florida over the Braves, 5-3 was the final. You may have seen that one earlier, some of you, on ESPN. In the American League tonight and today, Kansas City over Detroit. Boy, they are sizzling. 6-0 was the final. Texas over Seattle, 7-6. David Segui burns his old team with a homer there. Some of the late games include Oakland and Anaheim. That is a 10:05 Eastern Time start, about 4 minutes from right now. The marquee matchup is coming up on ESPN2, Dodgers and D-backs. We've got more baseball on deck.
And welcome back to Phoenix, everybody. It is the Sonoran Showdown here in Phoenix in the Sonora Desert tonight. 2 of the game's best. And this man, Randy Johnson, with a minuscule .93 earned run average. Look at the Major League average. He isn't even close. You know, it used to be when you had these kind of shootouts in the Wild Wild West, people would stand on wooden sidewalks and watch. Tonight there'll be an air-conditioned suites and a hot tub. But what hasn't changed? The combativeness of the 2 who go at it here tonight. Kevin Brown and Mr. Johnson. And when you're hitting against him, you call him Mr. With a win tonight, 6th pitcher in the last 30 years to win his first state. 75 strikeouts, 3rd most after 7 games in 20 years. And he leads not just the league, but the majors in all of those categories. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne along with Joe Morgan. Joe, tonight this is one of those diamond moments for baseball fans. A great pitching matchup.
It's just a great pitching matchup. You only get matchups like this usually opening day and maybe 2 or 3 times during the season. This is Koufax versus Marichal. This is Gibson and Drysdale. You only get those once in a while. And I expect these guys both to be on top of their game tonight. Kevin Brown, I think, has a little tougher road to go. He has all these left-handed power hitters going for the Diamondbacks. Randy Johnson on top of his game, I think he has a little easier chance of beating the Dodgers. But this should be a great matchup.
This is one you got to like it for Davey Johnson, one he hopes is going to get his team out of a slump. They have been rattled here in the first 2 games, 15-7 and 11-7, the losses they have suffered. The Dodgers starting lineup for tonight: Santangelo in center field leads it off. Grutzelanek, Green, Sheffield. Eric Karros, who has put up some big numbers against Randy Johnson, including 2 dingers, be Beltre, Hundley, Vizcaino, and Brown in that number 9 spot. And the man they will face tonight is trying to become a perfect 8-0, the big unit, Randy Johnson.
And Gary, this is not the same Randy Johnson we've seen in the past. Normally, Randy Johnson has this great fastball and this big slider. He's added a sinking fastball to his repertoire and a little shorter slider. So you're going to see a lot of difference in his style tonight, and that's one of the reasons he's off to such a great start. Hitters are looking at something entirely different than they've had to look at in the past.
And, of course, he starts it out with a strike. It's one of the reasons that his record right now is 7-0 and going for 8-0 here tonight. Here, Davey Johnson not having much choice. Collinsworth gets to sit, and here we go. Strikeout number 76 of the season.
Mac last year he played right field. Years before that he played second base. Now he's back at what was his natural position, shortstop, but he hasn't played there in a few years. Tough transition from the outfield back to shortstop.
Mike Grutzelanek will stand in. There is Womack, whose bat is red hot right now. So Mike Grutzelanek at second base. 259 on the season, a 1 for 11 so far in this series for Grutzelanek, who will in the 58 innings he has pitched this year, and he walks 1 here. So with 1 away, Mike Grutzelanek picks up just the 14th walk off Randy Johnson. With 1 down, he's on at first base. See the numbers going back to last year that he's put up. And a hard hit into right field by Green. Runner will hold at second, and there is an amazing accomplishment as Green picks up a single, a left-handed hitter.
Well, the great thing is that he pulls it in the hole, but he's only the 3rd left-handed hitter to get a base hit off of Randy Johnson this year. Left-handed hitters were 2 for 25 starting tonight, and you see he just rips this in the right field for a base hit.
His first hit ever off Randy Johnson, and has a 4-game hit streak now, and there are 2 on for Gary Sheffield. They generally hit against right-handers, Green and Sheffield. There are the numbers he's had again with runners in scoring position this year, and he's got 2 on here. Strike 3 in the inside corner, and Sheffield's going to argue.
Well, he set Gary up for that pitch inside with a fastball. Now look at this. Gary looking out over the plate, and all of a sudden that fastball is on top of you. And when he comes inside, you've got to be ready for the fastball inside, else you have no chance. And right there, Gary really doesn't have any chance. And Gary's one of the best fastball hitters in baseball. Well, I think that's one of the things that Karros has done against Randy Johnson is to try to jump on him early. But now Randy starts a lot of hitters off with the breaking ball.
Karros with 2 on. He's gone. He struck the side out. He starts out in true Randy Johnson form. 3 up, 3 down. They'll be golden if they do. Womack will be leading it off. Tony Womack, Bell, Gonzalez, Durazo, Finley. Bernard Gilkey gets an unusual start tonight because of those numbers against Kevin Brown. Kelly Stinnett does the catching. Fox and Johnson will round it out. 2-1 has had only 5 starts. Kevin Brown, Joe.
Well, Kevin Brown can be just as tough to hit as Randy Johnson. He may not strike out as many, but he can be overpowering. He relies on the movement of his sinker, but he can also throw a fastball 95, 96 miles an hour straight. And he's a guy that works quickly, and he throws what we call a heavy ball, meaning that sinker, if it hits you on your fist, you may have a sore hands for a week.
He has raised his average on Womack, who's got great speed. Chopper up the middle. Ursulanic, fine play to get him.
Really fine play when you think about the fact that a guy like Womack is running. You do not have a lot of time. The good thing was we mentioned Santangelo in center field. He's going to have his work cut out for him if the ball gets in the air. But Devon White is injured, and this is how he injured himself, diving for a ball in right center field. He hurt his rotator cuff, and he may have surgery, may be out for the season. We're lucky that a lot more outfielders aren't hurt diving.
That one to right field off Bell's bat will be hauled in by Green. And Kevin Brown has 2 outs here in the first inning. Stu Gonzalez stepping in. He fractured a right pinky finger back on April 12 and was out for a couple of starts. So he's 2-1, but it's only his 6th start. Most of the pitchers are making their 8th, 7th, 8th, or 9th start of the year already against the tough right-hander Kevin Brown. Historically, he is. There's a Gonzalez hit. He is such a level swing, line drive hitter, consistently over the last couple of years hitting those kind of balls.
For 19, so he got off to a great start. Then he went 3 for 36. Then he went 0 for 15, and now he's back on a tear the last 3 or 4 ball games. So he has been really hot and really. That's why he's only hitting 250. He's hit the ball really well, but he's had stretches where he's just struggled a little bit.
Now in this series, Rubiel Durazo goes after the first pitch to left field. Gary Sheffield wanders over under this one and puts it away. So the 2 pitchers start out the way you'd expect. No runs, a base hit, nobody on. For the big unit, struck the side out when we come back. To the second, Randy Johnson, 3 Ks already.
And all of these are fastballs, but they're set up really by his slider, because with his slider, they're so afraid of his slider that you have to wait just a split second longer, and then the fastball is by you. You really have no chance of hitting it.
You may see that right here. 1-2 delivery. See ya.
And that's what happens. You have no chance of hitting that. You've seen 3 pitches that are 85 miles an hour. Your eyes, your mind, everything adjusts to that 85 mile an hour speed. Now all of a sudden here comes 98 miles an hour. What you do, you can't even swing at it. See, look at that. He wasn't even ready to swing at it. Watch this pitch. It's right by him before he even gets ready. Look at that. It's by him before he can't do anything.
He has so much power from the left side of the plate, plus he struggled so mightily last year.
This kind of control with this kind of stuff.
2-2. Hundley goes after it, drives it. It's 413 to deep center. Finley going back and looking, and goodbye, home run. Todd Hundley delivers his 3rd home run from that side of the plate. Lead, and Hundley's got the dinger.
Gary, what you'll see here is what you have to do to hit a guy throwing 90+ miles an hour. He doesn't really stride. All he does is just stand there and swing. You don't swing harder at a guy throwing. See that? He doesn't even stride. All he does is throw his hands at the ball.
Fourth home run given up by Randy Johnson. That one is going to be a Vizcaino base hit. Jose Vizcaino with a single with one away in the second inning. There on top of the stadium. Squaring to bunt, and he does. Brown got it down. Play will be made by DeRosa to Bell. And a sacrifice for Kevin Brown. That's how he broke his pinky. Back in April, was trying to lay down a bunt against the Mets, and a pitch rode in and hit him. Down. Vizcaino off second base with a good lead. Down to third. Tough play. Knocked down by Fox. Fair territory. It'll be an infield hit.
Well, he threw all sliders to Santangelo, and Santangelo was able to time that one and hit it down the third baseline for a base hit.
About the width of that strike zone, or at least talking about it as well.
Or not.
Here's Solanic waiting. Goes after it. Right field. Hit it pretty good. Gilkey, though, an atom ball. Will haul it in. However, a run in on 3 hits with a couple left on base. The big blow, Todd Hundley. His 8th home run of the season off Randy Johnson. Lead. Finley is up and rips it down the line. Finley with a 7-game hit streak now, as Green will get it back in. A stand-up double.
No one has been swinging a bat better than Steve Finley on this Diamondbacks ball club.
His 6-2 bagger of the season, and the leadoff man is on here in the second inning for the D-backs. 6 batting average. As we showed you at the top, it's 8 for 20 with 4 home runs off Kevin Brown, and then a check back in the 1-1. And Gilkey, a chopper to third base. Beltry checks the runner, throws off the mark, and did not get him. And Adrian Beltry will be charged with another error at third base, putting runners at first and second.
Umpire is tough to make this call where he is, and he did tag him because, he did tag him right there. But it's tough from where the umpire was looking to see it. You see the position of the umpire. It was difficult for him to see him tag him on the inside where he tagged him.
So Kelly Stinnett working behind the plate. Your fan. Kelly Stinnett, slow roller. Vizcaino barehanded. Nice play. Jose Vizcaino, the only play he had.
Buck Showalter before the ballgame, he says, you know, we talked about Matt Williams being gone, Manti, and some of the other problems they've had this year. He said Andy Fox's absence really hurt him a lot. He said because Andy does a lot of things for this ball club.
Now runners at second and third. Finley and Gilkey are the base runners. Fox waiting, and he got him with the same pitch. That's called bearing down. Rearing back and getting to Kevin Brown. There are 2 down.
Hit him on the fist with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and also has a great slider. So this is, and I guarantee you that Kevin Brown's aware of that 5-game hitting streak, and he's going to pitch to Randy Johnson just like he's the 4th place hitter in this lineup.
Randy Johnson has 4 RBIs to go along with a 273 batting average on arm.
Like I say, he's pitching him like he's the 4th place hitter in this lineup.
1-2 delivery, and he goes. So Kevin Brown, a strong inning after the first 2 got on. No runs, base hit, error, 2 left in scoring position. Randy Johnson will go to work against Green, Sheffield, and Karros. If only they'd known then, Joe, what they know now. That ball stung. Green has tagged him for 2 hits on a couple of pitches. He played, but he's going to get it now. And he's putting up the numbers. So he's on with Sheffield up, a strikeout victim, 1 of 4 for Johnson so far. Dodgers 1 for 3 in leadoff men getting on, and he's on there now, and there he goes. Throw down, and it's a strike, and did he get him? Got him, held on to. Sheffield thought he picked up a walk. Green trying to steal, thrown out by Stinnett.
Well, Sheffield definitely thought this ball was low, and we'll get another look at it, but he thought the pitch was low. And here's a throw down to second base. You see the throw beats him, and there's Sheffield. He thought the ball was low and inside. And a nice tag there by Bell, no doubt about.
And he struck him out. Green gets caught stealing. Sheffield strikes out on the next pitch. Jammed him hard. Karros pops it up. Outside of first, Durazo. He's got room. Hello. No runs, a base hit. Nobody left on. Dodgers 1, D-backs nothing.
Out to Gary Sheffield. Now watch the catcher. See what he does with it. See when he catches the ball. He reaches way over. Now he tries to pull it back. So, I mean, I think Gary probably had an argument coming, but he gets fined because he's taking his armband off and throwing it down.
A lot of first ball hitting going on here. One down in a hurry. We're going to check in with Whit Watson. Whit, feeling on that foot is good, and so he's going to be running tomorrow. He should be back in the lineup in a hurry. This guy can't get that off the lip of the grass. Bell's got a 5-game hit streak, and he's on with one away.
And that's good hitting there by Jay Bell because he got behind 0-2. Kevin Brown came inside off the plate twice. And Luis Gonzalez kind of refutes Leo DeRocha's old saying that nice guys finish last.
Yeah.
He's as nice a guy as you're going to see. And
Kevin Brown had been hit by right-hander. 2-2. That one up the middle. Knocked down. Good Solana can't make the flip to Vizcaino, and everybody's safe.
Actually goes after the ball. And watch, Grezzolani gets up, he chases it. And Vizcaino goes after it too. If he stays at the bag, you may have a chance. But I mean, it's the only chance you do have. He was probably not going to get him. See, Grezzolani's right on top of it. But now when he gets there, there's no place to throw because Vizcaino went after the ball as well. And you talked about Bell, getting more ground balls than anyone. He's given up 2 hits here, but they're both ground ball singles. I mean, that's what he does. Any one of those balls could have been hit at an infielder.
Wow, where you're from. Ding, ding, ding. And a broken back ground ball to second base. Runners were going. Grutzelanic's got to make the play at first.
Ball club, and he's left-handed, but you see Kevin Brown going right after him. And even though Bernard Gilty has hit Kevin well over the years, inside every pitch so far.
2-2 down, 2 on. Ooh, hello. Check the Villier cap on that one.
And he fires him up inside again.
Well, if you're Bob Gibson or someone else who knows how to pitch like Kevin Brown. Finley up high watching.
Well, and maybe Kevin, he said, well, I'll go ahead and try to get him out.
His 9th start of the year. He reached on an error his first time up.
And he's made 29 pitches this inning, so it's been a rough inning for him.
2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. Sacks full. Gilkey laid on the cut. Kevin Brown, 3rd strikeout. Couple of hits and a walk, and the bases are left loaded.
Slider, and then he just throws the fastball.
Pretty equal as would be expected, and then he comes in with a breaking ball, and that's 6 strikeouts. Let's check back. His first hit off Randy Johnson, who had struck him out the first 3 times he faced him. Dodger pitching staff, 11 runs last night, 40 runs surrendered in the last 3 games. Hundley chases one away. 7 strikeouts. Throwing 3 or 4 100-mile-an-hour pitches to the backstop intentionally. That one drilled to left field. Gonzalez there. Can't get it. That'll take a hop off the wall and into second base. How about this? Vizcaino, one of the weaker hitters in the lineup, batting 8th, has picked up a single and a double off Randy Johnson in this game. 100 hitter now off Randy Johnson, 6 for 12 for Vizcaino.
Well, he's found his speed.
Look at the last double. September of '99, 2 for 2 in this one. And here's Kevin Brown, a sacrifice, his first time up. Left on over the first 2. And the 1-2 delivered. Brown, little pop up the center. That's a success if you're Kevin Brown, I would think. Off Randy Johnson. No runs, double. Base runner left on in scoring position. Remains 1-0 Dodgers.
To work his way out of jams, and so is Randy Johnson. I mean, they've both been in trouble, but they've been able to work out, and that's the sign of a good pitcher.
Gone 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position so far.
Pitches. And the hitters are chasing because they're looking for the fastball.
Fastball inside Vizcaino. And he got him. And we'll check in with Whit Watson again. Whit home at the Jake. 12-7 on the road. Go figure that.
And this year they're getting the pitching and they're getting hitting.
Down to first. Handled easily by Karros. And there are 2 down. Johnson coming up. And here he is. Team has won 3 of the 5. Short. Vizcaino. Got a hurry. So a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Brown. It remains a Todd Hundley home run. The 1-0 lead. Has singled and struck out in the ballgame against the Dodgers. 2-2 delivery. Check swing. That's there. Going to get an argument here too.
Well, he called it on the swing. Now they Santangelo said he should have asked the guy at first base. Swing, but he called it strike 3.
Towering pop-up. Rutzelanek. Gilkey coming. And puts it away. 2 down. His average season with them, you see 89 through 98, 14-8. Big mark. Cy Young Award winner. 4 strikeout titles.
Hit off of Randy as well. He was 0 for 5 in the American League. I assume they were all in the American League.
Johnson delivers to him and a chopper down to first. Fair territory played by Durazo. That'll do it. So as often happens with these two great pitchers, Brown and Johnson, as the game goes along, it gets tougher to hit them. At 278 batting average. Infield in at first and third through 90 to have a 3-season streak. You won't get a chance to steal a base here unless somebody drops it. And Sheffield's not gonna. These two great starters here in our Sonora Showdown.
To his repertoire for this year, and it's really paid off well for him.
Ooh, that one tagged. Jay Bell got a hold of that one. Sheffield will get it back in. Bell's got a hit 2 for 3 in the ball game.
I mean, from each one of these guys, it may not be the fastball you want, but you're going to get a fastball early in the count. I think what you want to do if you're a left-handed hitter against Randy Johnson is not get deep in the count. Now, that doesn't mean every time I go up there I look for a fastball. Sometimes I go up there, I'd look for a breaking ball first pitch.
He's on base every inning now except the 4th, when he retired the side in order. No 2 count on him. Runners off first and second. And Durazo pops it up, shallow right. Green moves in and puts it away. Durazo's retired. That's a big out.
You have a right-handed hitter against him, and you mentioned how well left-handed hitters have hit against him. 250.
Runs forth and RBIs.
This first pitch will tell us what they're going to do.
Went after him. Fair ball down the line. Play made Karros, and he got it there in time. And then Finley ran into Brown.
And that's a great show of sportsmanship there by Brown. Finley ran over him. They're both hustling, but Brown got up and patted him on the back. Said, nice going. I mean, they're both hustling.
So another big opportunity to score off Brown, and he barreled over and gets out of the inning.
So he's 0 for 2, but Gary Sheffield hit 34 home runs last year. Especially after this pitch.
2-ball, 2-strike count. 8 strikeouts so far for Randy Johnson. Rainmaker there. Kelly Stinnett. Get rid of that helmet and mask. And in fair territory, no, foul territory. He put it away. They'll check in with Whit Watson. Whit. Eric Karros up. And ball 1 on Karros, who has struck out and popped out. And regarding the home runs, Joe Morgan.
Well, in fact, you're mad because you gave up the out.
Yeah. 3-2 delivery hit in the air to right field and pretty good. Gilkey going back, wanting track wall. Gilkey up and no! Came off the top of the wall. Down to second base goes Karros with a double. Great play to see how close he came to catching it.
Well, Karros goes the other way. He was actually a little late on it. It wasn't he was going that way. He was late on it. And Gilkey, the ball actually hits just below the yellow padding there. Gilkey tries to time his leap right there, but he can't get it. As watch it go between his glove and the fence. It just bounces off the fence, and Karros has a double at this time, so he throws him a slider, and it's a ball. I mean, he's been just throwing him a steady diet of sliders, and he's chasing them.
2-1 down. And he got him. 9 strikeouts. 3 of them against Beltry.
Well, the tough thing is if you're like
struck out his last time up. Karros will get a good lead at second.
Sliding down at your feet. It's a big breaking ball, so it's very difficult to hit a guy like Randy because he hides the ball so well from him.
Todd Hundley with the outfield deep and straight away, trying to find a big 2-out hit for the Dodgers. Karros off second base. And he got it. Randy Johnson has struck out his 10th. His 132nd double-digit career strikeout game. Hundley the victim. 1-0 Dodgers. Bennett and Fox due up. 6-game win streak on the line.
That was,
trying to come in and face a guy like this off the bench is real tough.
Well, that was going to be my point of when he was pitching to Finley. I mean, you've got a guy who's not playing a lot.
Tired by Brown this year. In this game, only one is reached. That one to left field, an Adam ball. Curve right back toward Sheffield, and Stennett's retired 2 down.
Interesting for me to look back on.
Those great individual matchups. Andy Fox on the pop-up. And a good quick inning right there for Kevin Brown, and an important quick inning. Keeps him under that 85 pitch count as he sets the side down in order. Randy Johnson has walked 1, struck out 10. 7 of his 8 starts, he has had double-digit strikeouts 132 times in his career. Nolan Ryan did it 215 times.
Kind of puts Nolan Ryan in perspective there, doesn't it?
Man.
200. I mean, that's amazing. 10 more strikeouts that many times.
Randy Johnson got it in, and Vizcaíno can't get it over Durazo. That looked like a slow-motion play. Durazo knew he was jumping too soon, couldn't stop himself, and still made the catch. Win season. The way it's going right now. Oh, man. No question asked. 11 strikeouts. Best pitching ever for a string of years. 61 to 66, Koufax was virtually unhittable. Take a look at what Johnson has done, 83 to present. Or 93 to present, I mean. ERA a little higher, strikeouts higher. Koufax got 3 Cy Youngs, and Johnson's got 2. Not much of a difference in wins and losses.
The nod to Koufax for that reason alone.
Randy Johnson. Santangelo retired a 1-2-3 inning. This pitching duel is settled in. He'll be coming up when we come back. Johnson, the PR director for the D-backs, came in and told us they matched up only 3 times.
That's amazing.
This doesn't happen very often. And tonight we've got Brown and Johnson. 0-2, and he's gone. 5 strikeouts for Kevin Brown. We were talking about this before the game. The 1-0 delivery to Womack is popped up. Second base. Grudzielanek. For a position player such as yourself, if you end up in a game with a Marshall and a Koufax, are you a little more uptight out there knowing you got no room for error?
Well, I think what you do, you mean when you're out on the field?
On the field.
Yes. I guess I'll tell you my worst nightmare is my rookie year, I was playing with the Astros, and Ken Johnson was pitching very well against Sandy Koufax, 0-0 in the 8th inning. And Ron Fairley hit a ground ball up the middle. I grabbed it, knocked it down, and then threw it away. And Ron Fairley got to second base. They scored a run, and we lose 1-0.
3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Bell up, 2 singles, flied out. Kevin Brown. And he walked it. That's only the 3rd walk. Base, but there are 2 down. They will play Gonzalez more to the middle. Grudzielanek, the second baseman, moved over towards the bag. Pulled a ground ball. And he goes the other way, which is the way he hits in the gap. Big defensive play needed here. Santangelo. Relay throw coming into Vizcaíno. Throw will come to the plate. Not in time. Bell scores.
Kevin Brown, watch where the pitch ends up. It's a sinker. Look at it diving down and away, and he just goes the other way with it. Look, he doesn't try to pull it. You see that ball's over the outer half of the plate, and you see Jay Bell coming around with the tying run. But, you know, that's another thing I like about this ballpark and some of the newer ballparks.
3-2 runner at second base. Durazo. Down the line. Sheffield has room. And he'll put it away. So a big hit by Gonzalez. A run in, 1 hit, 1 left on. A big inning coming up here because the middle of the order. Coming up, way up and out. A great shot. And the ball's hit that way, but not that high. 407 deep center. Balled in. Gersolanic drove it. Finley, a Gold Glover, made the play. One down in the 8th inning.
Lineup that was always right-handed. I mean, you know, they always need a left-handed power hitter. Now they have one.
Look at this. In one game, Shawn Green has had more hits as a left-hander off Randy Johnson than every other left-hander that faced him in his previous 7 starts.
Make a mistake, you have to capitalize on it. And so far tonight, Shawn Green has been able to do that.
8 hits. Green is hitting almost exactly the same this year against right and left-handers now. He's hitting over 320 against left-handers and 321 against right-handers. Closing in on that number now. Sheffield got one and tags it foul. Oh, he hung that one up by the eyes.
So I'm telling you, I mean, Gary is zeroed in, and because Randy has made some good pitches, he's been able to stay off of the big part of that bat.
It's 2 strikes, 1 down. Green at first. Sheffield taken out on a great off-speed breaking ball.
But see, that's what I'm telling you. I mean, this is the new Randy Johnson that they're seeing. I mean, this is not the same guy. Before, he had that big breaking ball that he had to start off the plate and break it in. This one is like half the size of the other one. Look at this. I mean, this is just a great pitch. It moves just enough to stay away from the barrel of the bat. Look at that. I mean, you can see it in slow motion. Now, that was perfect angle we had there.
And now he is up already 12 in this one. 4 complete games this year. 2-2 delivery. Again, Stinnett can't stop it, can't find it. And down to second base goes Green. That'll be a wild pitch.
See, his release point on those last 2 sliders was lower than it was on the pitches that he struck Sheffield out with and the ones he got ahead of him with. See that ball? See how that ball, he comes underneath it almost.
Back. Kim will work last night. First relief action we've seen in the pens. Beltre on deck. This will be the 9th pitch he has thrown in this at-bat. To Alex Karras.
Well, Beltre struck out 3 straight times, so he's in the same situation as Brown was in with Steve Finley.
3-2, and he ate him up. Run for Los Angeles in the 2nd inning. RBI double. Gonzalez in the 7th. Finley, Gilkey, and Stinnett do up. Double. Off the fist to 3rd, and Beltre's got it. Bernard Gilkey reached on an error, struck out twice. Have done the damage, 2 and 3 holes, and Gilkey goes again. So he has struck out his last 3 times up. 6 strikeouts now for Kevin Brown. Kelly Stinnett with 2 down is 0 for 3 in the ball game. 0-2 delivery. Left field. Gary Sheffield. He's got it. Kevin Brown a 1-2-3 inning. Now the question is, will we see the big unit Randy Johnson come back out or not?
Young Kim.
BK. That works. Travis, it'll be a double switch, and Lee's in. Travis Lee in right field, Gilkey out. Lee will bat 9th. As you said, Joe, when you get up there, the 127 mark, time to go.
Time to go. I mean, especially with Randy, because he's pitched so many complete games already this year, and he's thrown a lot of pitches, and you mentioned he threw over 4,000 pitches last year. You don't want him to throw 3,000 before the All-Star break.
They really want to cut that down. I mean, his postseason numbers are not good.
Right.
And Kim picks up where he left off. Beltre's going, wait a minute. 4 strikeouts for Beltre tonight.
Well, he's faced some tough pitching and fastball. He's a great low fastball hitter.
Hundley a chopper. Kim coming over. And clear ball. And Hundley's on. Hundley ran into Kim. Kim touched that in fair territory, looking as though he really wanted to keep it fair. Well, now Buck Showalter will come out to see if Kim is all right. First base. 1 down and Hundley on at first. Kim's delivery, another base hit for Vizcaino. Lee over to get it. Hundley will stop at second.
Good job there by Lee to shorten the angle on that ball. so that he would have had an easy throw to third base. But Vizcaya...
Dave Hansen, who will come on as the pinch hitter.
Well, Hansen has been their best pinch hitter the last few years, and
It's bad here. 118 pitches thrown by Kevin Brown tonight. Another exceptional performance by the right-hander.
in my opinion, a couple of pitches to say, no, I've got to look down around his belt to find the ball.
1-2 count. Didn't find that one.
Well, he's got some gas and some movement.
But in between here, there's been an error and a single. 2 on, 2 down. And Todd Hollandsworth will pinch hit at the top of the order for Santangelo. And he got him. Tim strikes out the side. No runs, a base hit and error, 2 left on. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning in a 1-1 game.
Is in their bullpen, and especially late inning situations. And there's Hollandsworth. He goes in to play center field as he replaces Santangelo.
Great job of the 2 starters. Kevin Brown will watch. 1 run and it's over. Fox, Lee, who's batting 9th, and then Womack at the top of the order. And that's going to be a base hit. Rain over to get it. Big turn. Not going to go anywhere. Lead-off single.
Fastball down. And you can see Andy Fox turns on it and lines the base hit to right field.
Double switch is Travis Lee. Outfield very deep.
In a lot of situations you would bunt here, but I don't.
1-1 right now. Runner goes, hit and run on. Now movement leads for third. Green up with a throw to second. Winning run potentially is now at third base with nobody out.
See, that's what I like to do in those situations. Get yourself into a hit and run situation, send the runner. Even if he doesn't get a base hit, he'll still move the runner to second base. Have to walk, the base is loaded. And I guess they're saying, well, you know, we can pitch to Womack, who's not a power hitter, but I still think you have to load the bases and give yourself a shot at home plate, or the force out at home plate.
Arizona 1 shy of having won 7 in a row, would equal their club high for a win streak that they've done 3 previous times. Here on Tony Womack.
But that still will not accomplish a lot. I mean, you may strike him out, or you may pop him up, but you still need 2 more outs.
You're faced with the same situation with the next guy.
Exactly. So, I mean, I just believe you have to walk the bases loaded, try to go home the first double play, and then you have 2 outs. If you're lucky enough to get it, you can get out of the jam.
1 ball, 2 strike count, bottom of the 9th inning, 1-1 game. Fox at third, the potential winning run, and he's going to come in to score. That's a gapper. Womack, game-winning RBI. Fox scores 2-1. Diamondbacks win it at the bottom of the 9th.
With a runner at first, he squared around the bunt the first time, and then he put the hit and run on, which got the winning run at third base with less than 2 outs, and put all the pressure on the Dodgers. They're going for the strikeout. Tony Womack does a good job, gets the ball in the air and deep. As you can see, that's a pretty deep fly ball. Hits the warning track, and the Diamondbacks win. And there's Davey Johnson in the background.
Davey Johnson's club has now lost 4 in a row. D-backs have equaled their all-time record high of 7 consecutive wins. The winner is Kim, 1-1. Adams, the loser, in relief, 2-3. And this ball game ends here in the bottom of the 9th inning.